I'm 4 years into this, and everyone is like, do this, do that, do that. I'm like, yo, just relax, deep breath, everyone. Like, I'm gonna get to all of these things and fight all the hardest people and challenge myself. And if I lose, then I lose. But at the end of the day, I'm not afraid of anyone. And so people can hate, and I understand the hate.
So you saying that you can knock him out faster than Mike Tyson, probably, if it was a challenge?
So the problem with fighting is most people don't fight to the physical ability of their body. Like, they decide they're gonna knock this guy out, I'm gonna try to hit him with this, and they think in this real limited, sort of linear, aggressive, like almost obvious manner. And then you got guys who see past that.
What happens when a YouTube megastar with a thunderous right hand and an ego to match decides to call out one of the most feared knockout artists in modern boxing? We're about to find out on November 14th. This isn't just a clash of styles, it's a collision of the polished mansions of Hollywood Hills versus the unforgiving streets of Baltimore. While Jake Paul seems convinced he can conquer anyone, a chorus of seasoned experts have issued a chilling warning.
Tank is one of the most interesting fighters to watch because he's so different. His style is so different. You know, it's so economical. Like, he puts pressure on guys without throwing too many punches, and then starts to figure holes out, and the way he can explode and move in with one shot, my God.
Yeah, he's very explosive. He's very explosive, and you know.
Jake Paul's journey into the world of professional boxing has been nothing short of a spectacle. He exploded onto the scene not as a seasoned amateur, but as an influencer with a massive following and a knack for getting under people's skin.
I think it reminds me a lot of Butterbean. When Butterbean was fighting guys that had no chance of beating, everybody loved him.
Yeah.
But once he got beat, the novelty kind of wore off.
Yeah.
And I think that's what would happen with Jake if he were to.
It happened. He got beat, and the novelty did wear off. That's why he has to get a guy like
boxing in the United States of America. That has left a hole that the broadcasters have looked to fill, and they've done this with influencer boxing, which brings a completely different audience to the game. Every promoter and broadcaster on this planet is to blame for this situation that we are finding ourselves in right now. They've opened the door to clowns, and now we've got ourselves a circus. It is a travesty.
His initial fights were against opponents who were, to put it mildly, not professional boxers. But as he continued, his opposition slowly evolved. He took on MMA legends like Ben Askren and Tyron Woodley, fighters known for their grappling, not their striking.
You know, the conversation he had with Eddie Hearn, where he said, I will knock out any one of your guys that has under 10 fights. He goes, whoever you want to have, bring me any guy that you have that's under 10 fights. You can see Eddie Hearn like, he was kind of stuck there.
You think?
Yep, because those guys under 10 fights, like, what if Jake Paul knocks one of them out?
A crucial fact often overlooked is that these were welterweights in MMA, meaning they were significantly smaller men than Paul. He knocked them out, and while critics screamed that the fights were rigged or that he was only fighting non-boxers, Paul's power was undeniable. He then stepped up to face Anderson Silva, a legendary striker in his own right, but a man well past his prime. Paul won a decision, showing he could go the distance. Each victory, no matter how controversial, added fuel to his fire.
Jake Paul versus Nate Robinson.
Like 3.
Okay. Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley 2.
2.
Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva.
1.
Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz.
4.
And Jake Paul versus Mike Perry.
5.
He built a narrative that he was the ultimate disruptor, here to save boxing from itself. But calling out Gervonta Davis was a different move entirely. It was a leap from the world of spectacle into the dark, deep waters where true sharks swim.
I mean, obviously, he's been cutting his teeth, experience with some of these, some of the lighter weight fighters, but, some of the older, combat sports veterans, fighting some welterweights, some middleweights. Do you think we're ever going to see Jake fight his somebody like in his weight class, in his age range?
Only if that person is a bigger name.
It's a tank. Who can fight a tank? Okay. Once he fires, it's
Joe Rogan, a man who has witnessed greatness and brutality up close, was one of the first to sound the alarm. On his wildly popular podcast, Rogan didn't mince words. He laid out a brutal reality check, explaining that the gap between what Jake Paul has been doing and what Gervonta Davis does is almost immeasurable.
It hasn't been tested, maybe has some promise, maybe gets wrapped up in the hype, and maybe gets a little nervous. And this is his first chance at a big show. And Jake Paul can crack 100%.
Fantastic event. Anyone who don't think it's a fantastic event is jealous. Who's better, at Tank Davis or Jake Paul? So immediately, yeah, the normal layman would say, oh, Tank Davis is better. But better at what? Is he better at selling tickets? Is he better at selling stadiums out? Is he better at creating controversy? Is he better at getting followed on Instagram? Is he better at putting more eyeballs on the boxing? Is he better than him at that? The answer would be no. But is he better at him in a fight? It has to be really, you have to break it down.
Rogan spoke of the different levels in combat sports, a concept that casual fans might not fully grasp. Having seen countless UFC fighters, some of the toughest men on the planet, get shut down by specialists, Rogan knows that toughness isn't enough. He explained that a guy like Tank doesn't just throw punches. He reads your soul in the first 30 seconds and downloads your every instinct. He described Gervonta Davis as a predator, a killer, who operates on an entirely different plane of existence. It's not just about skill, it's about a lifetime of dedication to the craft of boxing, honed in the toughest gyms.
The first few rounds, he throws very few punches.
He's just measuring. He's a computer, man.
Yep.
He's just getting the data on you, faking you, taking pictures of everything you do, and then like round 3, round 4, he starts to fucking just, and he's slipping, pop.
He's got special power too. His power's special,
and he's mean too. As well,
oh
man.
yeah, mean is a big part of it, isn't it?
I think having that dog, being mean is like the biggest part in it. You know, you be a great athlete. One day you're gonna come across another great athlete. You know, it's who's got more dog in him.
Rogan's concern wasn't about Jake Paul losing on points or getting outboxed. His warning was far more grave. He was talking about the kind of physical damage that can permanently alter a person's life. He painted a picture of Gervonta's speed and power being so overwhelming that Jake wouldn't even see the punches coming.
For Gervonta Davis, caught him with that left hook to the body. People were saying that he quit.
No.
He never been hit in the liver. Oscar De La Hoya quit the same way with Bernard Hopkins.
With the same thing.
Same body shot.
Same
left
body shot. And he tried to come, and he tried to take a step out that corner and not the front of his foot even moved. He just went down. He was like, man, this is it.
And if you get kicked to the body.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. A kick to the body is so goddamn devastating, especially a spinning back kick. You could literally pick someone up in the air. It's like they got hit by a car.
Any kick to that.
On paper, the matchup seems to favor Jake Paul in some respects, which is what fuels his confidence. Paul is significantly taller, has a longer reach, and would likely enter the ring with a substantial weight advantage. In many fights, these physical attributes are a recipe for victory. You can keep your opponent at the end of your jab, control the distance, and smother their offense.
If Jake Paul wasn't Jake Paul, if he wasn't this YouTube guy, he was just a boxer, and you see a boxer knock out the former UFC welterweight champion, not just the former, but one of the best ever, knock him out with one punch like that, you'd be like, oh man, have you seen this Jake Paul dude coming up? He's fucking for real. Because nothing about watching him fight screams like he's in over his head. If it wasn't that big YouTube star, you'd be like, that dude's got dynamite in his hands.
But Gervonta Davis is not a typical opponent.
Skill for skill, none of these guys can mess with me, like nobody. Like, I feel like my skills is way better than like Floyd. Like if I'm on my game. I take that back. Probably hand in hand. But skill wise, nobody on TV that's fighting right now have more skills than me. Nobody. Like talking about top to bottom list of fighters that's fighting.
You believe there's a chance the other guy can win, and that makes it even more exciting, to say nothing of the pace he sets, the level of action, the level of bombs that are thrown by Tank, and as he fights better opposition, the number that will be coming back at him, yeah, he's guaranteed thrills for the dollar.
This is where the debate shifts from size to sheer, unadulterated savagery. Here's a fact. Gervonta Davis holds a staggering knockout-to-win ratio of over 93%, one of the highest in all of boxing. That means when he fights, it's almost a statistical certainty that his opponent will not see the final bell. Tank possesses a rare, God-given power that analysts have compared to a young Mike Tyson. It's an equalizer that renders size and reach irrelevant. His power isn't just brutish, it's explosive and precise.
Do you feel like you're the mini Mike Tyson?
Nah,
What do you call your style?
I don't know. I think I'm a boxer puncher.
What was Mike Tyson?
He was a brawler.
Brawl means more than one person.
A brawler, like somebody that's like.
So he knocked people out real quick. You knock people out real quick.
Yeah, but I can knock you out like.
I think Tank is in his flow now, you know.
He fought tougher competition.
Tougher competition, and he was able to go out there. And even when in the Barrios fight, you know, that was a true tell of him. Not just Barrios. You can look at those fights before the Barrios. You can look at the Gamboa fight. He had to go find those knockouts. And the Barrios, he really had to find it because Barrios was a big guy and he was a tough guy.
And the guy Cruz was big.
Yeah, Cruz was big and
gave him a good fight.
He gave him a good fight, and I believe he hurt his hand in that fight too.
Well, he was definitely not used to fighting guys smaller than him or his size.
Yeah. But, you know, Tank, I think, is a bigger dog to where Ryan's kind of taking a lot of time off, which, you know, for some fighters that does help because then you get to heal and recover and love the sport, love the training, love the process. But I just think at a fighter like Tank, I think he's going to be able to pull it out because I think he's just a little bit more battle tested.
I agree.
He has a history of fighting bigger men and walking right through their punches to deliver his own devastating blows. Boxing experts argue that Jake Paul's size would actually make him a bigger, slower target for Tank's precision strikes. Davis is a master at closing the distance, slipping under taller opponents' jabs, and unleashing vicious hooks to the body and head. The very advantages Paul relies on could become his biggest liabilities against a fighter like Gervonta Davis.
Tank can do the same thing the mentor did. That's what the mentor is for. To teach you how to do this thing the smart way and not get you hurt, not have to take no risk, not to take many chances. Everybody had their own mentors, their own pound for pounds, their own people they want to be like. If he want to be like that guy that y'all say is great and was one of the best ever, why can't he do it? If he make 50 to 100 million fights Jake Paul, they'll be cool with it because they cool with you making money. That's what the fan bases are on now. They happy with you just making money being good. Back in our day, they won't be cool with that. You had to prove you was the best. They thought you fought because you wanted to be the best of the division or the best of your era. I want to be the best in my division. As a matter of fact, I want to be the best around my division. Not just in my division, even around my division, I want to be the best. Today's fighters, they have been taught that that's not how to do it nowadays. Nowadays, go for the bag. Everybody is going for the bag.
To truly understand Joe Rogan's warning, you have to understand who Gervonta Tank Davis is. He is not a product of social media hype. He is a product of the harsh streets of Baltimore and the grueling mentorship of Floyd Mayweather. The interesting paradox here is that Mayweather, arguably the greatest defensive boxer of all time, handpicked and trained one of the most terrifying offensive forces in the sport. He didn't try to make Tank a copy of himself, he unleashed his natural ferocity. His knockout-to-win ratio is staggering, sitting among the highest in the sport for a world champion. He doesn't just beat his opponents, he dismantles them. Look at his fight against Leo Santa Cruz, a 4-division world champion. Davis ended the fight with a single, picture-perfect uppercut that was so brutal, it was named the Ring Magazine's Knockout of the Year, leaving Santa Cruz unconscious for a terrifying length of time.
The Leo Santa Cruz fight was really something for me because Leo Santa Cruz is a technician, Mexican style, and the fight was very close before Tank stopped him. But he has that power that can end it.
He finds these openings, and he sees them, but he doesn't go after them right away. He waits for the right time. He's so patient. Like when you watch the early rounds of his fights, he probably has the lowest punch count in the early round. But he also knows he's got that nuclear option that if he can crack you, most likely he's going to take you out.
More recently, he faced Ryan Garcia, a fighter with blistering hand speed and power of his own. Davis systematically broke him down, dropping him with a body shot that left Garcia unable to breathe, let alone continue fighting. This is the world Gervonta Davis comes from. He has been in the ring with the best, the fastest, and the strongest, and he has consistently left a trail of destruction.
He's the most exciting because he is vulnerable, because he's not unbeatable. He's got crazy fast twitchies, he can box, but he's so aggressive and he's vulnerable enough to counters that it's actually exciting. Tank got that Tyson-esque fast twitchies and the power, but because he's getting hit in exchange.
The fear and respect he commands from other elite fighters is palpable. They know he isn't just fighting for points or for fame, he is fighting with a ferocity that feels deeply personal. This is the man Jake Paul has targeted, a stark and brutal contrast to the aging fighters he built his record on. It isn't just Joe Rogan who is sounding the alarm. The sentiment is echoed across the entire boxing world, creating a near-unanimous consensus.
And that dude, Gervonta Davis, my first time watching him, I seen him a video on Instagram, man. I looked up his highlights too. That dude's a beast, man. He's great speed, great defense in those uppercuts, man. I'm not a hater, man. If I see somebody I think is good, man, I'll talk good about him. You know, some people they just see boxing and they don't appreciate it. They talk bad about him. But me, I see a good fighter and I respect.
Ryan Garcia, after feeling Tank's power firsthand, was blunt in his assessment. He stated that the power Davis possesses is on another level, something you can't truly appreciate until you're in the ring with him. He warned that Jake Paul, who has never faced a true elite boxer, would be in for a rude and painful awakening. Even Canelo Alvarez has dismissed Paul's career, stating that real champions fight other real champions, implying Paul exists in an entirely different, less legitimate universe.
Would you ever entertain a Jake Paul fight?
Not right now. Let's see later when I have like a 50 years old.
Geo's World, facts. That's why Tank wants to fight Jake Paul. I'm telling you, he want to fight Jake Paul because he know if he climb in the ring with Shakur Stevenson, he's going to get zapated. He know it. They all know it.
Prominent sports analyst Stephen A. Smith has called the idea of the fight absurd, arguing that it would be a dangerous mismatch that sanctioning bodies shouldn't even consider approving. Legendary trainer Teddy Atlas has also weighed in, explaining that while Jake Paul has shown some aptitude for boxing, he lacks the fundamental ingrained defensive skills necessary to survive against a finisher like Davis. The consensus is clear. While the fight would generate massive attention and money, it crosses a line from competitive sport into a genuine threat to a fighter's well-being.
Yeah, man, I just kind of want to raise my family. I don't know how much left of boxing for me. I don't want to see a therapist. I want to, I need to, but like I don't want to take away from my fighting. But I think it's time for me to do stuff like that. So I think the writing's been on the wall for Tank for a while. So that draw was kind of just like, I was on the way out anyway. I don't need to go back in there. And I said it at the end of that fight. I'm like, there's no way we see that rematch. He was so uncomfortable in that ring with Roach. He doesn't want to feel that again. He showed that night. So I'm not surprised that fight's not happening. I'm not even surprised he's fighting Jake Paul now.
So we are left with a fascinating and dangerous crossroads. Is Joe Rogan's grave warning a prophecy of what's to come, or is it just another challenge for Jake Paul to overcome? On one side, you have a mountain of evidence, expert testimony, and boxing history that says this fight should never happen.
Tank, to me, man, is a dangerous man, but he's at his most dangerous point when he's looking in your head, he's smiling and shaking his head and walking towards you.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah, you're done.
Because it's almost like he you and he's tasting your blood. Oh, you taste good.
As serious as he can be at basically every point of a promotion and every point of the beginning of a fight, and then once he starts to crack a smile, it's like, what can you do?
The difference in pedigree, skill, and proven power is simply too vast. Gervonta Davis is a predator in his prime, and Jake Paul, for all his bravado, has never faced anyone even remotely close to his caliber. But on the other side, you have Jake Paul's undeniable self-belief and his proven ability to generate knockouts. Here's the final, curious twist. Insiders say Jake Paul thrives on this kind of doubt. He feeds on being the villain and the underdog, believing that if he can convince just one person he has a chance, he's already winning the mental war. He has built a career on defying expectations and laughing in the face of his critics. Is it possible that his size, power, and unconventional path could create a perfect storm for the biggest upset in modern boxing history? Or is he dangerously delusional, walking into a storm he cannot possibly hope to weather? The world is watching, and whether it ends in a historic triumph or a brutal lesson, one thing is certain. If this fight happens, the consequences will be immense. So, that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section. Stay tuned, and we will catch you in the next video.